can you please enlighten those that do not know you, where you're from, and what you have been about before you got into comics?
All right. Well, I'll try to keep this short because it is a ongoing saga. But before writing comics professionally, I was a research scientist. I was an electron microscopist working at one of the local hospital systems here, and really loved my work, but also hated my work because my boss sucked. So yeah. So trying to figure out whether or not I was going to go back, enter a MD PhD program. I actually spent a year at UNC working in their oh my god, why am I blanking on the name? It was Cancer Research Center, and what a depressing job that was. Oh yes, and while working there and applying to the MD PhD program there, I was going to get my postdoc or postback. I was like, yeah, I'm only doing this because it feels like the next logical thing to do, but I don't think my heart is really in it anymore as far as like research science goes, because same crap I deal with in comics was the same stuff I was dealing with there. But difference is, doing what I actually really want to be doing. So after having my son, I think that was the thing that finally made me say, why are we being scared? Like, let's actually do what it is that we want to do. So I think I reached out to an author whose work I really enjoyed. It was a romance author, and she was kind enough to email me back, very encouraging. And I basically was telling her like, hey, so I'm deciding to get back to the thing that I love at like the most chaotic time of my life. I'm coming a new mom, new parent for the first time ever, but also it has made me realize that I need to go after what I want, and writing is that thing. So she was very supportive. I think I went out that weekend and got a new laptop because I needed one. I had like an old compact that when I played Sims, it sounded it sounded like a Boeing airplane getting ready to take off. So it was time for a new situation. So I started blogging, just talking about my experiences as a mom, and kind of talking about that and how it crossed over with different things in pop culture that I enjoy. So I think of Alien. I think I wrote something about that. Terminator with Sarah Connor and all of these other things, right? I ended up getting on Twitter. So I had a Twitter account, but I didn't use it. I heard from folks that if you were looking for a community as far as like writing, comics, whatever, like Twitter was the next best thing to do. So I got on Twitter and was kind of just talking about things that I enjoyed, podcasting, talking about things I enjoyed. It wasn't until I got invited to the Kennedy Arts Center for the 2018 Art Summit with my co-host on Misty Knight's Uninformed Afro that I was like, oh, okay. So like people are actually taking what we're saying seriously. They're going to pay us to talk about it at an event and fly us out and so on and so forth. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe this hobby could be a little bit more than what it is. And then that podcast, of course, imploded a week after we got back, because that's how life goes. And the research that I have for season 3, because our podcast focused on Black women and characters in comics. So I had a lot of research that I had did for season 3, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I ended up pitching a couple articles to an editor at Sci-Fi. And I think the very first article I ever got paid for was the evolution of the Dora Milaje from comics to movie screen, because Black Panther came out that year. And I started freelancing for them on the regular, still working this 9 to 5, by the way. Like I would write articles in between experiments and whatnot, making it work, figuring it out. And I was always talking about comics. I always had a strong viewpoint to bring to different stories and stuff that I enjoyed, or even the ones that I had trouble with, and just trying to just talk about why that is in a unique way. And then eventually it was like, hey, you're always talking about comics and like what you would like to see, so maybe make the thing you want to see. So I reached out to Sarah Macklin from her very first webcomic, Parenthood Activate. It was this Rugrats perspective from a parent. I think Rugrats, but from a parent's perspective. And again, like very first thing started off writing about was my adventures in motherhood. The very first comic I did, Adventures in Motherhood. And then But What If came, and then Living Heroes came, because one night I took a 20 milligram edible and was watching Living Single because it just started streaming, and then also I was going back and rereading the Phoenix Saga, and this is how my stories come to be, from the most random things and a little bit of THC.
And
Uh, so I came across the part in that saga where Jean Grey and Misty Knight are roommates, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cute. But then Jean Grey dies. I'm like, damn, who gonna help her pay the rent? And then that's kind of what got the. I legitimately, for a lot of my early stories, were just me wanting to, whatever joke I would have told on Twitter, instead of doing it in a tweet, I was like, I'll do it in comic form. And essentially, that's how Living Heroes came to be, because I just wanted Misty Knight to show up on Storm's doorstep, because Storm having ties to Harlem. I was like, maybe she got a little brownstone. Let's figure it out. And then we'll have She-Hulk as our white woman of color. Because She-Hulk's a lawyer, so is Maxine, and they both eat a lot, so that was a connection there. And they're both funny. Like, She-Hulk is funny, right?
But also, She-Hulk and Max, they also have the same what is it?
Preference in.
So I like that.
They do. It all made sense. And then of course Misty Knight as my Sinclair, because I was like, it'd be fun to see Misty Knight in this role as kind of not necessarily an airhead, but just bring a little bit more humor, because she's like funny. Misty is funny in a unintentionally funny way. So it just all kind of worked out. I worked with Aaron O'Neil Jones on that, and working with Erin was like the highlight starting out, because she's just so damn talented, and the way that she got these character designs done, people really loved it. We did the Kickstarter, and that funded in a little over 24 hours. I was like, oh, we must have something. Yes. So Living Heroes finally was released to the world in November 2020 or December 2020, and I think that November, an editor from Marvel reached out to me, but it wasn't even because of this. I'm pretty sure they were aware of it, but it was because of an article that I wrote for Sci-Fi Fangirls about the best butts in the 90s at Marvel. And the most I've written serious things and I've written unserious things, and of course the unserious thing would be the thing that got me.
We need to have the argument that we need to have. I can see that in San Diego. It's like, who's got the best button comics?
I think
the living panel.
The thing that got the editor's attention was one, just my, of course, knowledge of just the comic book medium, and then again a very specific viewpoint and opinion, something that was both entertaining and also enlightening. So I got to do a 2-page story in Marvel Voices Legacy. I decided to do a Monica Rambeau story because might as well keep the energy that got me to this point, which was to do a story that hopefully was relatable to people, and it was kind of like a holiday story. Sorry, you can apply it to the holidays, but Monica is at the grocery store with her mama. She-Hulk is there, and also Thor, because I always loved that they were teammates on the Avengers, and She-Hulk was her homegirl for a little bit. And superheroes are often a little strapped for cash, so when Monica's mama walks off to go find the pet milk, they're almost in line, they're almost ready to like check out, and they're looking around like, hey, where you at, Mama Rambeau, because we don't got money to cover this. My same fear whenever I was at the grocery store with my mom or my grandmother, when they would walk off to go get some pet milk, and I'm like, girl, you coming back, because I don't have the money for this.
So she's scanning real fast for no reason.
Yes, I'm like, slow down. So
we got you. The milk is, I assure you, the milk is important, but we need you to slow down.
Yes, we need you to slow down. So the week that came out, I spoke to an editor at DC Comics, because shout out to Vita Ayala for recommending me for some Wonder Woman things. And the funny thing about that is that long ago, when I was podcasting, I had interviewed Vita about The Wild, like their very first creator-owned project, because I loved it so much. So who knew, coming full circle, that Vita would be one of the champions of my career, starting my career in the way that it is now, because of that suggestion. And then that editor read the article, the evolution of the Dora Milaje from comics to movies, and that's why she thought I would have a really great handle on the Amazons, because the Dora Milaje and the Amazons have many similarities. So goes to show that you never know that just because you aren't working on something directly doesn't mean it won't have impact on the thing that you want to do. It's like being
Right.
intentional about the things that you do. So I did a 2-page story, not a 2-page, 8-page story for Wonder Woman Black and Gold. I thought that was it. I didn't know it was going to be Nubia or anything like that. And then I found out that I think I finished that story. My editor was like, "Hey, so Vita's going to talk to you about your Nubia story," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, girl. I don't want to waste Vita time like that on 8 pages, but we could talk or whatever." I'm like, "I know Vita got other stuff to do," so Vita and I talked for like an hour about this, and Vita's like, "Okay, yeah, like I know you're good on that. What do you want to do with Nubia?" I'm like, "What do you?" What do you mean? And it was for this series. So that was insane because Nubia was one of the characters that we covered in the podcast. And I just remember specifically while doing the research for that, I was like, damn, she don't have no history. Not really. She a handful of things like that was I had to really dig deep to make that episode more than an hour long because of just the lack of history that she had. So to be able to have contributed to her history and her being this now more prominent character that she is now is insane to me still. And, you know, I came in to execute a job that I would like to believe that we did a really fairly good job on making Nubia relevant again, given what we had to do, right? They wanted Nubia to have a new origin story. So I was like, okay, we'll figure that out. And some other changes and stuff. And I think that was my realization that, wow, on this side of making comics that, wow, do fans assume a lot? Just is not the case, because that was me realizing like, damn, I had a lot of stuff wrong.
So can you talk more about that? Like what?
Yeah, so like when you're working or you're work for hire, right? Because that's essentially what writers, artists, and all of us are, unless you sign a contract, exclusive contract with these companies. You are coming in as, you know, a hired mercenary to carry out to a degree like what the company is trying to do with this character. Like, sure, you have some input on like what you would like to do, but at the end of the day, this is their toy. And sure, you can come in and say, I want to do all these things with your toy, and you're gonna let me do it. Yeah, okay. No. Unless you are some really big name or, you know, something like that, even then, like, that's just not going to be what it is. So you can I learned very early on, you have to learn to pick your battles, especially if you want something to happen. So sure, I could have dug my heels in and been like, no, I want to do this and that with Nubia. Then maybe this book doesn't happen, and maybe they don't find another writer, and then maybe they're just like, well, we're going to shelve Nubia for now because we can't seem to get anybody to just be in somewhat of alignment of what we're trying to do. So the fact that I was still able to do a lot of things that I wanted to do, and giving her a new weapon, giving her a definitive spot in the DC universe, and also like her role of queen, that wasn't something that I picked, but that was something that I had to take and make a thing. So
and I'm glad you did.
Yeah, so I mean, sure, because my thing was, if she was there's always a chance to go back and write earlier stories. And also this is only the first thing for Nubia, right? If we do our job the way that we're supposed to do it, then that means that character will be relevant enough for another creative team to take over, or for other writers to be interested in using that character in their stories and their books. Like, when you're working at some of these bigger companies, it's sometimes worth it to think of the broader picture, the bigger picture, than just being so myopic in thought.
I have a lot of words that I want to say about a particular character that's been propped up on a side of the major comic book label that I'm not happy about. But I won't say it because I don't want nobody to lose their job. I agree with everything.
I never liked this song, really. The beat is all off. It's just the tempo is a bit off.
It is because I'm trying to make myself stop talking because
you can't. Are you kidding me? You have a
It should have been you. It should have been you. I know you. I know you don't. I know you don't want to. I know you. I have seen you say it. It's not. That's not your. That's not your vibe necessarily. But god damn, you would have broke your foot off in that goddamn character. I swear to God. I swear to God, you would have broke your foot off in that bitch. Pardon.
We would have bought you crutches and a wheelchair.
Look,
we got you a hover round. We would have done a crowdfund to do a hover round for you.
I would have thought, not Monica, Lord Jesus, Misty Knight, and had her make you a goddamn foot, or whoever made her damn arm.
Oh, it's my Iron Man, a nice little vibranium situation.
Correct.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But so after Nubia, I don't want to. The rest clearly isn't history. It's still in the making. But I am thankful that during that experience, I did my due diligence to learn all I could, because mentorship in this space, especially for Black women and just Black folks in general, it ain't a lot there. So
it's not really there.
No, it's not. So to have Vita there in that way, I just knew, I was just very thankful for that. And then also the fact that I came in like, I am going to absorb all the notes and everything that I can from my editor and really get better at my craft, because I'm in here now and my foot is firmly planted, and the only way it's going to stay firmly planted is for me to continue to grow as a writer, as a creative, and to navigate this space in a way that allows me to stick around, because it's kind of hard to do that when you're not getting monthly books, and you gotta be a little scrappy with how you go about trying to get opportunities, or the opportunities that you say yes to. Because I do a lot of stuff. I know it seems like I'm always busy, but that is because I know how fortunate I am to be in this space and to have the opportunities that I do, and I just show up every day. Like you're gonna have to drag me up out of here, essentially, because I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon.
As strong as you are, I wouldn't even bother. I'm telling you.
Because let's talk about that real quick. Humble brag on your part. How much you bench now? Literally.
Inquiring minds want to know.
And I'm asking this because you are goals on so many levels, but physically, girl, I wish.
Well, hopefully my personal trainer is not listening to this. I pray that he isn't. He isn't tapped in. But
that's business.
I think deadlift, I'm up to 350. Squat 315. Bench press 185 or 195 last time. So because it's because sometimes when you are irritated, right, it's nice to be able to go to the gym and throw some weight around.
You hear that, Spartan? You're not the only one who has to do that, bruh. You're the only one in that. You hear that, Spartan? Okay.
I am in. You know what? I think that's what I needed to hear to get my ass into the gym. That makes a lot more
lifting
sense.
is wonderful.
I do. I'm not gonna hold you. When I'm on.
Don't.
No. We all gotta start somewhere.
Look, when I'm on the leg press machine.
Yeah.
Baby, I'd be slamming them motherfuckers like it might be like a measly little 100 pounds, but I be
listen, that is that is phenomenal.
She'll come back to me on the podcast talking about, let's go, let's talk about it. Coach, you okay? You all right, Coach? Yeah, I'm just fine. What's the topic tonight? I need you to calm down. That's the topic, Coach. What the hell?
I got the post-workout shake going through me. Oh, wait, see, look, we got weightlifters in here too, ladies. We don't be afraid.
I peeped Keisha at San Diego Comic-Con. Don't get it twisted. She dresses beautiful and demure, but you see the muscles underneath. That's talking about. Like, what up, baby? Hi. I love you.
The quiet.
Don't hurt me.
Underneath, don't assume that you can swim in these waters, baby. Go ahead, Navy. I'm sorry.
Actually, no. There's a story that's definitely told me about when she attended a con. I can't remember which con it was, but there was weights across from her booty.
Oh yes, MomoCon. Yes.
Yeah. So
It was right
what?
across. I did a cute little 3 rep of 315 before a panel, so I got a nice little pump. So that was nice. And I think they were there this year at MomoCon. And I
They
was like,
were
no,
just at
I
a
ain't walking
different
all the way
area. They
over
were
there.
not in front of your
Yeah.
table.
I said
I was
I'm
like,
not gonna walk to it now. I already worked out.
I'm sure a lot of people were like, "Oh wait,
Yeah.
oh, oh
so
no,
she
she
had pro
knew.
wrestling
Oh no,
down that
she
way.
has a
So she just
business."
watched these people
Mhm.
getting thrown around. I was like,
I
please
love
don't go over there,
it.
Steph. Please,
I
please
love.
don't go over there.
Good lord. Um, you are incredible, lady. Let me see. Who? I'm so sorry. Did I interrupt you in your backstory?
No, I'm good. I mean, that should be it. I hope. I mean, I would be here all day if I tried to recount everything from the last decade almost. The endorphins, yes.
Okay, so let's talk about
You know,
it.
because that's the funny thing, that when people are new to you, they just think you're some type of overnight success, and it's like, no, baby, I've been in the trenches.
I've been in it for years. For
Yes.
years. Do you know so these are not the oldest ones that I have of yours. I couldn't find the rest because closet
Yeah.
and heavy. So I couldn't. But I think you
Heavy.
comics that I actually got back into because I saw Newbie on the cover. I had no clue who you were, but I read it and I was like, bet. We're doing something. There's a reason why I'm back here. Oh, thank Christ.
Oh, thank you. That's a huge compliment because whenever from the start, even with the web comics, my whole thing was like I really love the comic medium. So I'm hoping that whatever stories I tell are something that people feel are welcoming, makes them want to get back into the medium and just have a good time and understand why comics are just they're great. Like, how could you not love comics?
It's weird.
It is. You get words and the art, and they're just all in concert with one another. Especially when a book is done very well. It is just like a very beautiful ballet that is happening before you.